I really like the way it turned out. I'll probably do it this way again in the future just to do some more tests. It came out wonderfully defined. Welcome back, friends, and in this video I just decided to just do a detailed look of how I recently styled my hair. And so right here I have just come out of the shower from washing and deep conditioning my hair with the lovely deep conditioning hair mask. I also had a nice detangling session, so I am ready to go. So here you see me just having fixed my part. I've been attempting to do better there, y'all. I don't know. It's progress, I suppose. So I like to split my hair into 2 equal sections before I get started and put one up so that it's not in the way while I'm trying to style my hair. And then I am going to have to saturate my now fuzzy hair, because you know, high porosity, with lots of water. So I just take my trusty continuous spray bottle, coat it in water, douse it in water, whatever you do with water, and then just kind of run my fingers through it because I feel like that helps. So gonna add Mysterious Magnificence as my aloe vera moisturizing spray, and I like to start all of my wash and goes with this product because I feel like it really gives me an added bit of moisture that my high porosity hair just loves. I also use it on my low porosity hair son too though, and his seems to love it as well. So I like to finger comb my hair after I add a nice amount of product and I get this foaming action. The foaming action I'm looking for is just kind of slight foam, not like, you know, a mousse. So that's Sultry Sorcery that I showed you. That's my leave-in conditioning, and that conditioning, really? Conditioner, mouth, come on. And I showed you how much I was using before my mouth decided to want to destroy me, and now I'm just thoroughly incorporating into my hair. So I just rake that through until I feel like it's in there good enough. And before I didn't used to do this step with all of my products, but I do feel like it's necessary to make sure the products are thoroughly incorporated in the hair. Each product is thoroughly incorporated in the hair before you move on to the next one, because I do think it helps with a more seamless look at the end, less likely to flake, etc. So in this video I decided I wanted to split my hair off and do smaller sections. I kind of hummed and hawed over it a bit because I'm not really used to doing it. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I usually just style one whole half at a time and move on. The laziest of lazy wash and goes. So yeah, I'm starting off with my curl custard, which was recently released, and I'm just adding that to the back. I had actually intended to split that back part into yet another section because I was going to do like 4 sections total on each side. So I just went ahead and decided to go ahead and split that, even though I had added some custard to the part that I had already moved over. I'm just showing you the small amounts that I'm using. It might be kind of hard to see on my light palm with that bright light, but that's just what I'm doing there. It's just showing you I start off with very little and build, because you can add more but you can't take away, friends. So I'm just continuing to add until I'm satisfied and make sure I rake and smooth. That's the process I've been using. I actually kind of got that process, I got that process from a low porosity person I was watching, because hey, some of our techniques can be shared. But I like the rake and smooth because it really just forces the product into the hair. So that's Slick Sorcery I'm showing you. That's my Stronghold gel, and I'm just using that as a topper on this 2 gel wash and go. And it's very strong and very effective, so I don't really need to use much. I really hope y'all can't hear all that noise outside, because holy cow. Anywho, so moving on to the next section, I'm just doing the same thing there, and the reason that I don't detangle with a tool like, you know, a brush or something as I'm doing my wash and go is because during my showering process and deep conditioning and detangling session, I really feel like I just get it detangled enough that I don't need to go through with a brush and detangle again. And I feel like the least amount of manipulation I do on my hair, the better, and the less damage that I do to my hair. So anyway, just adding the products thoroughly, raking and pressing as I go to thoroughly incorporate all the product into my hair, and then proceeding on to the next section. I like to use little clips as I go to just get the hair out of the way, so I don't end up like reapplying product to hair that I've already done, because nobody has time for that. So usually you see me adding extra water on top of the leave-in here, and that's usually a step I do on all the hair. I really just forgot to do it in the back and didn't worry about it because the back of my hair is more forgiving. It's less coarse, and so it just gives me less issue as far as being defined and such, and having less frizz. But the front is a whole nother story, because that's where most of my damage is, and so it's just a little bit more difficult to maintain as far as defining and all that stuff. So I decided to just add that water 20 minutes later. Sorry, long-winded explanation, where I just added water to that section even though I didn't do it in the back. So still proceeding on with adding the curl custard and the stronghold gel, stronghold gel to the sections. And I'm really just smoothing down that hair at the top, because that hair at the top and the front, she really likes to frizz no matter what I do. Frizz city. And so I just like to make sure I take my hands and just smooth away at that section. And so I take my clip, of course. Oh my God, get a muffler. Jesus. Okay, sorry. I'm talking to the people outside. Focus. That's what ADHD will get you. Anyway, so spraying on this water on this last section in the front, and this is definitely my most difficult section. It even doesn't shrink as much as the rest, because I'm just still working on trying to rehab that hair. I'm lucky it even has a curl pattern, because it did not when I first started on this leg of my hair journey, you know, in 2019. It didn't have a curl pattern. It was just fuzzy. I refer to it as Brillo pad hair often, which I don't see as much anymore. I think that's just because of the long-term consistent caring that I've been doing for my hair over these past couple years. So anyway, going through with the custard, raking and smoothing, especially in that top area, just to help that hair just, you know, smooth out. I don't know. I'm looking at my hair. Today is day 4. Not in this video obviously, but as I do this voiceover, it's day 4 and it still looks pretty good. You'll see those videos too. I'm gonna put out like 5 days in my wash and go of this particular wash and go, actually, just to see how it went and how it lasted, because I was curious about that myself, being a little more in depth, if you will. I probably could have added a little bit more gel and a little more custard, but I just wanted to see how it went with the amounts I put in. But yeah, anyway, so just raking and smoothing and just making sure I get that product fully incorporated. I don't want to have a lot of white or green, in the gel's case, product just sitting on top of my hair when I'm done styling, because that's more likely to promote frizz, and it will just sit there. It will just sit there on top of your hair. You think it'll go away during the blow drying or air drying, whatever. It won't. It'll just still be sitting there like a glaring, ugly mess. Okay, so that side is done. I'm pleased with how it looks. I like to also add that water, because I feel like when I add the water on top of the leave-in, it requires less product to get the desired results. So after I added that tiny little bit of gel that I showed you on top, I just sprayed a little water and smoothed that in to just give an overall smooth look. And I'm just going to clip that all over now so I can go to the other side. Look how fuzzy it is. I promise y'all I was not standing there that long. I don't know, 20 minutes. I don't even know if that. And so I'm just going to douse that side down in water, and once I get that it takes a little bit more on that side because it's drier than when I first started, obviously, because I was standing there running my mouth and applying products to the hair. So I get a healthy amount of water sprayed onto that side, and then I just take my fingers again and just rake through and smooth and just kind of force the water to just smooth out that high porosity hair so it's not fuzzy. I don't want to add water, especially as a high porosity person, to fuzzy hair, because that really has never yielded good results for me. I prefer to do it on soaking wet hair where the curls are the most defined, and then I'm defining curls instead of frizz. So that's both sides are now done, and I can go ahead and take that out. I don't know why I left it in there that long. And the wet results are looking really good, sleek, wonderfully defined. And that white you see is gray, unfortunately, or fortunately. Hey, some people don't live to have gray hair, so I'm blessed, right? So I'm gonna turn around and just show you the way it looks when it's wet. That's how it's gonna be when it's dry, y'all. So if the curls ain't popping while it's wet, it's not gonna be popping while it's dry. So here's my blow dry method. I start off just kind of doing a hover thing over my hair, and so I just hover over kind of just top to bottom, just getting it a little bit drier before I start the wild flinging phase. And I do that on both sides, just kind of top to bottom, just hovering. And maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes total, so I guess it'd be 3 on each side max. And then after I do that, I do the wild flinging. And I feel like this has actually been helping. I started this process and I've been liking my results a lot better, but I can get that diffuser into the roots better and easier, and I feel like it just helps with the drying process and the drying time overall. With the Tymo, whatever it's called, that's what I'm using. Airflow, okay, air height, that's it. I feel like my hair just gets drier more efficiently and faster with it. So fling to the other side, obviously, so I can get that area, that section, and in the back as well. And then I just move the hair out the way, and then, you know, kind of use my hands if necessary. And then I'm just blow drying the mids, the ends, and back into those roots again, just to make sure it all gets nice and dry. And there we go, just another shot of me trying to get all of the hair dried. So that's kind of the process. It took about 20 minutes, though I want to just torture you by showing you 20 minutes of drying, but this is the dried results so far. I really did like the way this came out, and so I usually let it sit for a bit and come back, you know, get a little fancy, put on some lip gloss. Okay. I don't do the full face of makeup like some of the other girls because I am not good at that. Okay, moving on. So I just take this hair, I'm going to stretch it now, and I just take this part. You can see I left some of the curls out that I don't want to stretch, and I'm just going to take that section and go down the hair with the blow dryer. I can't remember what that attachment is called, but that's the one that I like to use. So that's stretched there, and part of the reason that I like to stretch the hair is because it does help with the gel cast, minimizes it some, or just gets rid of it altogether depending on how heavy the gel cast was. And also just a nice little stretch is also cool. I think it helps with the shape of the hair. So I lifted my roots with my pick just to get a little bit more volume on top. I'm really kicking myself that I did not smooth my hair down before I turned around, but you get the idea. I really like the way it turned out. I'll probably do it this way again in the future just to do some more tests. It came out wonderfully defined, and again, I was very pleased. So I hope you like what you saw. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss any uploads, and giving this a like. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.